Hi, my name is Adi Lakshmi. I'm going to demonstrate for Finder app for CS4251 class. This is targeted to any audience who have craze for, say, food or shopping or visiting places or be it anything. Everybody will have their own personal bucket list or to-do list. My app enables you to have your personal or to do a bucket list on your mobile through an app. You can add categories like shopping malls or restaurants or amusement parks or places to visit or say cafes. Whenever you hear anything good about anything from your friends or people around you and they suggest you to do so, you can add them on your bucket list and visit it whenever you feel free. So there's another feature in my app which actually enables you to use GPS location. Say you're getting bored and you want to visit a place around you. You can actually do so using my app. There is a feature which implements Google Places API such that you can Google for places around you using this API. I will be demonstrating it shortly on my mobile. Before that, I want to give you a walkthrough of my code so that you get to know. This is the code on Android Studio. Basically, I've created a folder for handling all the database and the database classes. This item-based helper classes basically extends the SQLite open helper class. I'm maintaining all the code related to insertion or a search operation on my database table using these two classes. I have also created an item and item lab classes. This is nothing but my Java Bean classes where I store all the data. This was the backend part. For the front end part, I have created 3-4 screens. Basically, the launcher screen has two options. One is to actually update and search for items on your bucket list, and the second option is to actually find through the GPS location. For that, I have created a few screens. This is the main activity screen, and it will have button clicks which will take you to two screens. That is called the search screen and then the add screen. This was the first option. For the second option, that is for the GPS part, I have used a number of classes that basically use all the features of Google Maps API, geolocations API, and Google Places API. Here I'm using the data parser class for parsing the HTTP URL request, and I'm using the download URI for data parser class is for parsing JSON data. The download URL class I'm using is to create the HTTP request and to be able to read the data from the URL. The get nearby places data API, basically here I'm using Google geocoding and Google Places API and Google's Map API to be able to get the coordinates of the latitude and longitude. After that, we would be using these coordinates to be actually inputting in Google Places API, and with the search string called category, like say shopping mall or places, that will be displayed using Google Places API on the maps screen. So you would have understood by now that I'm using all these features as hardware device features. I want to demonstrate in my app. I've already installed it on my mobile. If you can see here, there is an icon for Finder app, and when I launch it, as I said, this is my main activity. The first portion is for updating my bucket list, and the second portion is to be able to find using the GPS feature. Let me demonstrate for the first feature. Say for example, a friend of mine has visited some restaurants in Fremont and they are recommending me certain food. So say when I have heard them and they have recommended me, I have added them in my bucket list already and I want to search for them. Say for Fremont, let me search for Fremont. It is 94538 and I search for all the bucket list items. So here is my bucket list. This is the list of restaurants people have suggested me to go, and when I click on them, I see that I've heard a lot about its pad thai and I should try. So I can try this in Salathai now. And the second thing I want to show is to be able to add certain things. So say I want to add a restaurant based on somebody's review. I add it and name it as say XYZ. I just demonstrating, so I'm adding some rubbish data. And I just say just visit. And I add it. So it's added successfully in my bucket list. And if I search for it, it says displays on my search list, and I click on it, it displays the further details of it. So this was one example. You can also use it for your to-do list. If you're planning for vacation and many people have asked you to see many places, you can Google based on it. Say I'm going to Utah and people have suggested me certain things. So what I do is I put the zip code and see if somebody has actually suggested me something there. So it is 86040. Sorry, this is for Arizona. So my friends have suggested me to go to Antelope Canyon, that is Page, Arizona. And when I click on that, I remember my friends saying, friends insist I should go to do photography tour. So I'll make sure I do it. So you can plan your vacations and the must do activities using my app. This was the first one. The second feature is say you run out of all your options and you're looking out for options in general out of your bucket list. So in that case, you can just enable your GPS and then say you want to look around for restaurants in Fremont, and you click on restaurant search. So this is a feature I've been telling you that based on the coordinates of the latitude and longitude, my classes basically input the coordinates to Google Places API, and then they generate the results on the Google Maps here and display a number of options here. So all the red icons here are all the restaurants that are actually nearby the coordinates, that is Fremont. So I can click on any of them and it is displaying the details, and I decide to go here. I can click on this button and then it displays the route to navigate to the place. So this was the additional feature of using a device that is GPS in my app. I hope you use it and you like it. Thank you.